Hello and welcome to another edition of Saving Changing Lives, brought to you by Interval House of Hamilton. I'm Mark Newman. With me today is Renee, child and youth counselor since 2004. Renee has also been supporting children's welfare for over 20 years. Renee, welcome.
Thank you.
Renee, we have talked about gender-based violence and the impact on women. We also know that if there are children or pets, they are impacted. Can you talk about that?
Yes, absolutely. So when there are children, women often have to change their belief or style of parenting to support their child's safety. Women often will be able to predict the cycle of abuse, know when the perpetrator will escalate. The moms will often support their children staying safe by sending them out of the home for a sleepover, keeping the children away from the perpetrator any way that they can. There's lots of research on the impact of children, the impact that domestic violence has had on children. And we know that even when they just witness the domestic violence and the abuse, it's at the same level the impact has as if they were directly abused themselves. Children may overhear their mom crying, see damage to belongings or at home, overhear their mom telling someone else what happened, and ask questions about maybe why their dad isn't home.
How do you know if a child has been abused or impacted by abuse?
Simply, sometimes children will just tell us. Children will absolutely tell us what's been going on in the home, what they've experienced. And then from there, we have what we call a duty to report. Not just us as professionals, but everybody has a duty to report child abuse. And these children that tell us and children that don't tell us, we're able to see them experiencing emotional, behavioral, or physical problems. And when we look at that, we break it up into different age groups. So when we look at infants, what are some of those behaviors or those emotional or physical problems we're going to see? So there's a disruption in their sleep. There's going to be a fear of loud noises. The child's going to have developmental delays, excessive crying, physical neglect, basically because the mom is so trying to keep the child safe and keep the perpetrator away from the child, so they're going to suffer that physical neglect. They might also be hurt by objects that are thrown at the woman because the woman is holding the child. Then we look at a preschool age, so they might experience poor concentration, excessive fears, excessive separation anxiety and crying, acting out, such as hitting, biting, clinging behaviors. They are very angry. They might show aggression. They might show cruelty to animals. And also we might see regressive behaviors in children, such as a child that used to be potty trained is now going back into diapers. And then we look at, from the school-age children, so ages like 5 to 12. So there they start experiencing such things as low self-worth, low self-esteem, post-traumatic stress disorder, self-harming behaviors, bullying behaviors. You might see perfectionism in the child. And then they're having issues at school, such as attendance can be a big one, because the child doesn't want to leave their mother, right? They don't want to go to school because they don't know what they're coming home to. We might see inappropriate sexual behaviors displayed by the child. They might start to engage in alcoholism, drug use, and they might start showing those oppositional defiant disorders that we see, but very excessive ones that are very disruptive to the classroom. Then we look at children or adolescents once they get into ages 12 to 18 years. At that point, they're getting into relationships themselves. So we're going to start to see them potentially being in abusive relationships or being the abuser themselves within that relationship. Again, not just intimate partner or relationships that we're going to see them, but healthy relationships with friends around being able to set healthy boundaries and what that looks like. So then we're seeing, when we go back to relationships between youth, there's dating violence, right? We might see suicidal behaviors, a disrespect for family or themselves, excessive pleasing behaviors is something we also might see. Again, poor peer relationships, poor family relationships, the children or adolescents running away, feeling overly responsible, and we refer to that as being very parentified. And then we see things such as destruction of property because that's what they've been exposed to, that's what they experienced, that's what they know.
And just listening to everything you said there, I guess it boils down to listen to what the kids have to say and watch what they're doing.
That's exactly it. Mark, you've hit it right on. That's what we got to be doing, just paying attention.
What are some of the resources Interval House of Hamilton provides to support both the mom and her kids?
Well, here at Interval House, we do therapeutic daycare referrals. We have a Hero's Journey program. We do daily therapeutic programming with the children. We also offer therapeutic groups twice a week here at the shelter. We have one-to-one counseling for children. We offer one-to-one counseling services for the women and the moms. Self-esteem workshops, multiple groups that we offer, job counseling. We have a legal advocate. We have a lawyer that they can consult with. And we have the Women's Center and the Flamborough Women's Resource Center that we can refer the women to.
Rennie, it's been very interesting. Anything else you want to add?
No, Mark, that was great. Thank you so much.
Rennie, thanks for shedding some light on this. For more information, see intervalhousehamilton.org. This has been another installment of Save and Changing Lives. I'm Mark Newman. Thanks for your time.